and welcome to today's workout. We're going to get started right away with a plyometric warm-up. So we're going to start by lifting one knee in, placing the fingers over the shin and just giving it a little squeeze, and then releasing, switching over to the other side. So we're going to continue walking that out or kind of marching it out. We're not really holding the stretch. We're just starting to warm things up. Nice. And we're going to do this about 10 sets, or 20 times each side. We'll also start to warm up the hip flexors here. As you give that little squeeze at the end, you might get a little bit of pinching sensation in the front of your hip. And that's okay. That's what we're trying to work through here. Good. A few more times. And give me 3 more sets. And last one. Good deal. All right, moving right into a front kick. So we're just gonna have hands on the hips, and we're just gonna begin to kick to the front. Now this is a warm-up. This is not a flexibility exercise. So no worries if you need to bend through that knee to lift that leg up as high as you can. What we want to avoid is crunching over for our upper body to meet the leg. We want to stay really tall, almost lean back a little bit, and then lift that leg as much as you can. Think about lifting it from underneath. So lifting and pushing from the back side of the body. Good. And let's do 2 more each side. And last one. Perfect. All right, and then across toe touch. So nice wide stance. My toes are gonna stay facing the front of the room. My arms are gonna come out to a T. I'm gonna twist and touch my toes. Now, if your hamstrings are really tight, you might not be able to come all the way down. You can just reach toward your toes. Make sure we come back to that T position. And back up. That's 3 sets. And 4 sets. Really reach behind you with that opposite arm, so we're getting that nice twist action happening. That's 6 sets. We're going to 10. 7. 8. 2 more sets. Last set. Perfect. All right, last exercise for our warm-up. Feel free to watch first if you'd like. I'm going to come down, step back into a lunge, and then go right into a twist. Opening up with that opposite arm, or the same arm that's forward. Stepping back together, standing back up, pressing my hips forward, and then I'll alternate. I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna step back with the left leg this time. Twisting open with my right arm, stepping down, stepping back together, and back up. We're gonna do 10 sets of those. So step it down, step back with the right leg, twist it open, down, back together, and up, and left leg. Step it back, twist, and together. 4 more times. Right leg back, twist, down, and together. Left leg, step it back, twist, together, and back up. 3 more times. Right leg back, twist, and back together, and down. Left leg back, and twist. Back together, stand up. And 2 more times, right leg back, twist, and together, and stand, and left leg back, and twist, hand down, step together, and stand, Last set, right leg back and twist. Step it back together and stand. Last time, left leg steps back, right leg or right arm opens, back down, step it together and stand. Woo! So you should be feeling pretty warm right now, maybe a little bit out of breath. I know I am. And then also our joints should start to feel like they're ready to work a little bit. Should be feeling a little bit less tight, a little bit more loose. So let's start with our first circuit, which is going to be legs. We're going to come down onto our knees. And kind of like we're coming into a wide-kneed child's pose. Big toes are going to come together. Knees are going to come a little wider than our hips are out toward the edges of our yoga mat. And we're going to set the hips back onto the heels. So this is going to be a hip thruster, kind of like the bridges we do on the floor. But we're going to be doing in this kneeling position, which is really going to activate our quadriceps. So hands can be on the hips for the full version. I'm going to squeeze through my glutes to lift my hips, squeeze through my quads to pull my hips, press those hips forward, and then back down. Try not to let the back arch on the way down. We're going to keep that little bit of pelvic tilt where we scoop the tailbone underneath and try and keep that tilt as we come back down. And we are going to do 20 total of these. If this is too much, having the hands here, you can always bring the hands back here to your heels or underneath of you or in front of you if you need a little help pulling up or pressing up on the leg. So lots of options there. I'm going to do the full version with hands on the hips. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're halfway there. And 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Okay. Next, we're going to do a donkey kick. So coming through your tabletop. Make sure those shoulders are right over the wrists, the hips are right over the knees. And we're going to flex this right foot, lift it up. And we want to try and keep it directly behind us so it's not kind of coming out to the side. We'll do our hydrants next. That's coming straight back. And we want to try and keep the pelvis as neutral as possible. So our hips aren't doing some crazy dance here. Stay really square. And we are going to do 20 of these on each side. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side, try and stay strong. Your shoulders don't start to collapse. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're halfway there. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. And send those hips back. Take a quick breather here. Give your arms, your shoulders a break if you need it. We're going to be coming back to that tabletop position for fire hydrants. So So same position to start with, and then my leg's gonna come straight out to the side. You can keep that foot pointed or flexed, whatever's comfortable for you. And here we go, 20 each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, halfway there, and 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, other side, and 1, 2, stay strong in your shoulders, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send those hips back, take another breath. We have one more tabletop exercise. We're gonna do our rainbows. We're gonna do 20 of these as well, 20 on each side. All right, here we go. We'll talk through this. Same tabletop position. I'm gonna extend my right leg first. I'm gonna take it out to the side. The right side, I'm gonna lift it up and over, touch down on the opposite side of my mat. Up and over, touch down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my goodness, we are only halfway there. We got this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness, I am shaking. We got this on the other side. Left leg extends, take it out to the left side, up and over to the opposite side of your mat. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. You got this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We're almost there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take it all the way back over. Oh my goodness, send those hips back. Go ahead and find your child's pose. We'll take a few breaths here, just rest it down. And go ahead and lock it back up. I don't know about you, but my glutes are on fire. Let's take a quick glute stretch. You can come to a seat with your knees up. We'll lean back and cross the right leg over the left knee. Flex the foot, push that knee open, and then press our chest forward with our hands. So if your hips are feeling a little more open, you might be able to really sit up here. You might have to really lean backward if those hips are really tight. The more you press your belly and your chest forward toward your shin, the deeper that stretch is going to go. Deep breath. And Gently release. You can lean way back. We'll switch sides. Left foot crosses over, and then press that chest forward. Press your belly forward. You might need to still lean back a little bit if those hips are tight. Deep breath on this side. Okay, so that was circuit 1, all about legs. We're going to move on to circuit number 2, where we're going to focus on our abs and our core. Okay, so from our seated position here, I'm going to lift my knees straight up toward the ceiling. I'm going to make sure my feet are flat on the floor. We're going to do some seated crunch rollbacks. So I'm going to pull myself up with my arms, reaching up, sitting up really tall in my spine. Staying seated tall like this, now I'm going to drop my palms down toward the floor to lower my arms until they touch the tops of my knees. I'm going to roll back until my palms are over my knees. I'm going to keep rolling back, continuing to pull my belly button into my spine. Roll back until just my fingertips touch. And I'm going to pull back up so that I come back to my palms. So we're going to do 20 of these, rolling it back to fingertips, sitting up to palms touching. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 10, 9, really pull your belly button in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull yourself all the way up. Reach those arms back up. Sit up tall on your spine. Take a deep breath. And release it down. Oh, those are really simple, but they're really killer and they're really great for finding your deep core. Let's roll all the way down. We're going to do some pulse-ups. Rolling down to your back, extending the legs up, and we're going to do these with bent knees. So try and get your knees right over your hips. I'm going to push slightly through my hands. I'm going to relax my neck. I'm going to push and pull to lift my hips up. So I'm pushing through my arms, activating my lats. I'm going to pull up with my lower core. Those muscles below the belly button, kind of in your pelvis, they're pulling up toward the belly button to lift those hips up. Just a little pulse and lower down. Try not to drop the hips down. Try and lift and then lower with control. We're going to do 20 of these. Here we go. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10, 9, 8. Relax your neck. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug those knees into your chest. Rock gently side to side. Breathe for a moment. Okay, same thing with a windshield wiper motion. Come out to that tabletop position with our legs. I'm going to lift my hips up and set them all the way over down to the right side. You might want to walk your hands out just a little bit wider for this one. I'm going to take them from the right side all the way up and over to the left side. So we're going to do 20 of these alternating, so 10 sets. So hips up and over to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, You should be feeling this in your side body now, especially in that lower side body. Rock it out, one more breath here. Perfect, and you can roll onto your belly. One more core exercise. Okay, so we're gonna do our Superman swim. So our arms are gonna come out toward the corners of our yoga mat. Feet are gonna be wide as well toward the corners of our yoga mat. I'm gonna lower all the way down and then pull my shoulders back and down along my spine. That motion is gonna lift my chest. I'm gonna hover my hands. I'm also going to squeeze my belly, squeeze my glutes to lift my leg. Alternating, right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. We're gonna do that 40 times, alternating. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Whew. Great work. You can push yourself back up and press back into your child's pose. Take a few deep breaths. That's the end of our second circuit. And you can press yourself back to a seat. All right, so circuit 3, we're really gonna focus on our upper body and our shoulders in particular. So we're gonna start with a bridge kick. So we're gonna get a little more core, a little more leg action with this one, but we're also gonna be focusing on our triceps. So my fingertips are gonna be toward me, so thumbs together, pinkies out. I want my wrists to be right under my shoulders if I can. Now if your shoulders are tight, you might need to take it a little wider, that's okay. Gonna press up into my bridge position, lifting my hips, and I'm gonna lift my right knee. I'm gonna lower and lift. And we are going to do 10 of these on each side. And I really wanna try to press through my tricep here. So lift it up and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side, lift the left leg. And 1. Lift and lower those hips. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower it back down. 3 more exercises to go and then we can cool it down. Okay, down dog push-ups. So we are just gonna do 10 of these. So feel free to watch if you haven't done these before. I'm gonna press up into my down dog position. These are really good for strengthening shoulders, especially for like our yoga poses. If you need to go a little wider than normal with your feet or arms, feel free to do so because we're not really gonna worry about our form here. We're gonna work on stabilizing the shoulders. So I really wanna make sure I'm not collapsing in my shoulders. I'm pushing the floor away, activating through my lats to push, lengthening those shoulders, letting my shoulders kind of ride up by my ears. I'm gonna keep my elbows pulled in toward the top of my thigh. I'm gonna bend through my elbows to drop my head down toward the floor and then push it back up. When I do that, my heels can lift up off the floor. Now, if this is really challenging for you, you can always come into more of a narrow down dog position. Sometimes that can make it a little less intense when you're closer to your legs. So experiment with that and find what's working for you. We're gonna do 10 of these. Again, try and keep those elbows in and not let them stick out to the side. All right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. And lower down to your knees. Shake it out. Give yourself a little breather. Give your shoulders a little break. We're going to do one more down dog exercise. So these are going to be a forearm plank to a forearm down dog. I don't think we've done these before. So I'm going to start in tabletop, and I'm going to come down onto my forearms like I'm coming into a forearm plank. Try and get the elbows right under the shoulders. I'm going to flip my toes and press up into plank. And I'm not going to hold here. I'm going to lift right up, lift my hips like I'm coming into down dog. And again, really think about pressing through the lats to press the shoulders long so that I'm not collapsing. Lifting, and then I'm going to lower down into my plank. And you can even think about dropping the hips down so that we're doing like a little shoulder push-up to push back up and into that down dog position. So we're going to do 10 of these. Just do the best you can. So from plank, lift your hips high and lower. And 2 and lower. 3 and lower. 4 and lower. We're halfway there and lower. 6 and lower. 7 and lower. 8 and lower. 9 and lower. Last one and lower. Hold, lower all the way down. Whew, excellent job. Those are really hard. We're going to finish off with some arm circles. Okay, so we're going to do arm circles, little tight circles as fast as we can. We're going to go both directions for 1 full minute. So let's start going forward or whichever way feels natural, and then we'll switch. Here we go, little circles. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're reaching all the way through your fingertips. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you're flexing all those muscles around your elbow so that it doesn't hyperextend. Stays nice and strong. We're 20 seconds in. See if you can go a little faster. And halfway there. Keep going, keep going. Circle, circle, circle. Whew. This is burning in my shoulders, burning in my arms. We're getting close. We've got 15 seconds left. Make it count. Keep breathing. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle the other direction. Circle back. Keep going as fast as you can. Don't let the elbows sag. Keep the arms long and strong. 15 seconds in. We're already a quarter of the way through. Keep going. Oh, I'm starting to feel that burn in my chest now. And back by my shoulder blades. The whole arm is working. The whole shoulder is working here. We're halfway through. Keep going. Keep it strong. 20 more seconds. Oh. Keep telling yourself you can do this. You got this. 10 more seconds. Almost there. Home stretch. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness. Bring it on down. Okay, grab a drink if you need one. We're going to move on to the cool down stretch. So pause the video if you need to, grab a drink, and we'll get started on that. All right, let's start with our quads. We're going to do a standing quad stretch. So that's where we're pulling the ankle in. If you are feeling kind of wobbly, feel free to grab hold of a chair or a wall to help you stabilize. So let's pull that right heel in first. I'm going to pull the heel in toward my glute, and I'm going to squeeze my glute, squeeze my quad to press my pubic bone forward. That's really activating through the quad. Tucking the pelvis. Keep pressing that pubic bone forward. And you can gently release. And let's take that on the other side. So feel free to switch around. Pull that left heel in. Tuck your pelvis underneath of you. Tuck that tailbone under and press the pubic bone forward. Deep breath. Keep pressing that pubic bone forward. And gently release. Let's move on. We'll take some standing shoulder stretches. Let's start by crossing that right arm over. And we're going to hug it in, so you can hug all the way across, or you can just take the forearm, whatever feels comfortable to you. Really letting that shoulder come across. Deep breath. Take the left arm across and hug it in. Taking some deep breaths as we hold here. Release. So come back to that right arm. Reach it back between the shoulder blades. Use that left arm to pull that shoulder back and across to the left. And the more we can think about pulling our ribs in and down toward the belly button, the deeper the stretch becomes. Other side, left arm back, pull it back and across. Deep breath. Let your head fall over to the right side. Take your right hand and just place it over your ear. We're not going to pull, we're just adding the weight of our hand and kind of stabilizing the head. We're going to flex this left hand and press the shoulder down away from the ear, lengthening through the side of the neck, holding here and breathing. Look down slightly at our toes, walking the hand to the back of the head, continuing to press our left shoulder down away from the ears. Drop that right hand and look up slightly at the ceiling. Continue to press that left shoulder down and away. Left hand comes to your ear. We're not pulling, just adding the weight of our arms. Flex and press the right shoulder down and away. Deep breath. Look down slightly at your left toes. Walk your fingers to the back of your head. Continue to press your right shoulder down and away. Drop the left hand, look up slightly at the ceiling. Press the right shoulder down and away. Gently release all the way to center. Ooh, should be feeling a little taller in your neck. Let's move on to some leg stretches. Let's start with our pyramid pose. So I'm going to step my left foot forward a little bit. You might need to play with this distance a little bit. I'm going to try and keep my both legs parallel. So I don't want to let this back leg open up to the side. I want to keep it forward. And I'm going to walk my hands down my leg. Now if you're feeling kind of wobbly here, you can always balance on some yoga blocks, or if you've got like a couch or something, you can even turn and kind of hold your balance here, so you're not having to hold it just in your legs. If you're feeling a little loose in your hamstrings, maybe you can come all the way down to the floor, but no rush to get there. We really want to try and square the hips. So I'm pulling my right hip back and I'm pressing my left hip forward, and then sticking my booty out behind me, scooping out the low back, really getting that nice deep stretch all the way through the hamstring. Deep breath. Take that on the other side. Again, feel free to use the edge of a couch or a bed or some yoga blocks to help you balance. Slowly making our way down, finding our balance and kind of finding our position. Once you kind of settled in there, we'll try and square those hips. So now I'm pulling the left hip back and pressing the right hip forward as I scoop out the low back, kind of sticking my hips out behind me. Deep breath. And then we're going to come down onto the floor through tabletop. So coming down through tabletop position, I'm going to take a kneeling calf stretch. So I'm going to take my left knee in a little further forward just so it's a little easier to balance. I'm going to straighten my right leg and flip my toes, pressing them out into the floor, sliding it out, and pressing my heel back behind me. You can even walk those hands out a little further in front of you to help you press back. It should be a nice little stretch through the foot and through the right calf. left toes and pressing out into our calf stretch on the left side. Press through those hands to really press the hips back. Gently release. All right, coming through tabletop again, let's make our way into pigeon. I'm gonna bring my left leg forward first, so left leg forward. It opens toward my right wrist and down onto the floor. Let's walk that back leg back. And again, we can keep this heel in close, or we can open it up a little bit depending on how your hips are feeling today. So maybe experiment with that width, find what's working for you. And then we're going to bring our chest over the shin, so it's not over to the side. So shoulders in line with the hips, head in line with the rest of the spine. And we'll stay here for about a minute, so you can stay upright. Maybe you begin to make your journey forward, bending into the elbows. Really find what's working for you today. Listen to your body. Yourself back up, flip those back toes, pull yourself back through tabletop. Whenever you're ready, make your way into pigeon on the other side, right leg forward, knee toward the opposite wrist, and then opening up. Walk the back leg back, and again, choose your position here, however wide that front shin is going to come. And again, we're going to hold it for about a minute. Hands, flip your back toes, pull yourself back through tabletop, and we're going to come to lie all the way down onto the belly. We're going to take a chest stretch. So feel free to watch first. I'm going to lay down. I'm going to take my right arm out to the side at a 90-degree angle. So my elbow is in line with my shoulder, and then my forearm is 90 degrees from my elbow. I'm going to lay all the way down. I'm going to use this opposite hand to help press me up and over with this left hip. Left hip is coming up off the floor, and I'm going to kickstand behind myself. Now, if your chest or the front of your shoulder is really tight, you might not be able to do that. You might just bend through that left knee, kind of coming into a figure four, a little half tabletop. So whichever variation you need to take with the legs there, feel free to take that. Slowly roll all the way back to center. We're going to take that on the other side. So my left arm is coming out to that 90-degree angle. From my shoulder, I'm going to use this right arm now to press my right hip up and over. Maybe it comes a touch behind me, or maybe I just bend into kind of a half frog here. I want to keep this nice 90-degree angle with my arm and then melt my armpit into the floor. Slowly roll all the way back to center. So we'll finish off with a seated side stretch, and then we'll take a supine twist. So you can crisscross the ankles or stack one foot in front of the other, whichever is feeling better to you. We're going to come off to the right side first, grounding down through this left buttock as I lean over to the right. So both sits bones on the floor. I'm going to scoop this left arm up and over, bending into this right arm. Maybe you're able to come all the way down to your elbow. Maybe you stay upright here. You can look down with the head, or you can look up, whatever is feeling more comfortable to you. It's just more important that we're feeling that side stretch through the left side body. Deep breath, really expanding the left side of the body. Slowly press it all the way back up, other side, leaning into that left arm, right arm scoops up and over, bend into your elbow, ground down through that right sits bone. Looking down or looking up here, taking some deep breaths into the right side of the body, expanding it. Yourself back to center. All right, last stretch. Come to lie all the way down onto your back. And we'll take a supine twist. Bending the left knee in, pulling it across the body to the right, letting it rest onto the floor here. We'll use that right hand on the outside of our knee to help pull that hip across. Left arm is going to come palm down out to the side, and then we're going to turn our head over the left shoulder. We'll take some deep breaths into the side body, into the waist. Like to take this a little deeper, you can even begin to straighten this left leg out a little bit. Lots of permission to keep it bent if that's feeling safer to you. And then finally, we'll think about pressing the left hip down, away from our rib cage, lengthening our waist. That makes this twist even more intense in the outside of the left hip. take that on the other side. Pulling now the right knee in, across the body to the left, keeping that leg either bent or maybe you begin to straighten into it. Right hand comes palm down, straight out to the side. Turn your head over the right shoulder. And think about pressing your right hip down, away from your rib cage, lengthening through your waist, concentrating that stretch to the outside of your right hip. And slowly release all the way back to center. We'll take a few breaths on our back here. A little Shavasana. Let's finish off actually in reclined butterfly. So soles of the feet come together. We'll just let those knees fall open, and we're not pressing or pushing. We're just letting gravity gently pull the hips open. Shift those hips, kind of wiggle them side to side so you feel your back rest fully onto the floor. We'll take right hand to the belly and left hand to the heart for a few final closing breaths. A little tuck in our chin here, lengthening through the crown of the head, trying to feel our spine come to rest fully onto the floor. Breathing in and out through the heart. Feeling the natural rise and fall of our chest and of our belly. Relaxing through the legs and allowing the hips to rest fully onto the floor. Relaxing the shoulders and allowing them to melt down onto the floor. Taking just a few more breaths here to soak up all the good things from our practice today. Taking a moment to thank yourself for showing up for this workout today and giving some time to give back to your body. Taking a moment to be really thankful for your body, saying something really nice to it. If you have some more time, I encourage you to stay in this posture for a few more moments, soaking up all the good things from your work today. Thanks so much for joining me, and great work.